The Egyptian President Abdel Fattah El-Sisi is presently in India. El-Sisi was in fact given a ceremonial welcome at the Rashtrapati Bhavan earlier this morning. The Egyptian President will be the chief guest at India's Republic Day celebrations on the occasion of 26th of January. Now, Abdel Fattah El-Sisi is the first leader from Egypt to be the chief guest at India's Republic Day. A marching contingent from Egypt will also be taking part in the parade in New Delhi. Al-Sisi met with the Indian Prime Minister and also the Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar for talks. The Indian Prime Minister said that the two leaders have decided to elevate the bilateral relations between India and Egypt to a strategic partnership. Under the India-Egypt Strategic Partnership, a long-term framework will also be developed for greater cooperation in the fields of politics, security, economics and science.
भारत और इजिप्ट दुनिया भर में हो रहे आतंकवाद के प्रसार से चिंतित है। हम एकमत है कि आतंकवाद मानवता के लिए सबसे गंभीर सुरक्षा खतरा है। दोनों देश इस बात पर भी सहमत हैं कि क्रॉस बॉर्डर टेररिज्म को समाप्त करने के लिए ठोस कार्रवाई आवश्यक है।
The Sisi also said that the two leaders spoke about fighting against terrorism and discussed the security cooperation between Egypt and India. The Egyptian president will also interact with members of the Indian business community today. He'll be hosted by President Rashtrapati Murmu this evening. Now, the India-Egypt bilateral trade agreement has been in operation since March 1978. Egypt enjoys most favoured nation clause, and President Al-Sisi is accompanied by a high-level delegation which includes 5 of his cabinet ministers. Now, this is the Egyptian president's third visit to India since having taken charge of Egypt back in 2014. And also our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibil, has been tracking the story really closely for us and has sent us this report. Take a listen.
Well, today was the key day of engagement in terms of the Egyptian president's conversation with the Indian Prime Minister, and one of the key outcome was the elevation of the relationship to strategic partnership on trade. Both countries have now focused on increasing the trade volume to $12 billion. Now, focus was also on cooperation when it comes to terrorism. In fact, the Indian Prime Minister, during the press statements, he pointed out to the issue of cross-border terrorism and how there should be consensus on that issue. There was focus on climate change, on investment, on tourism, and of course the fallout of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. But nonetheless, this visit of the Egyptian president is to firm up the relationship in areas like defense, agriculture and education. We know that in the past as well, there have been high-level engagement. Both countries have a civilizational connect, but this visit is seen as a visit that will provide a further impetus to New Delhi-Cairo relationship. We know that India already has good relationship with many countries in the Arab world, and Egypt is the latest country with which India has firmed up its relationship with this ongoing visit. And we know that on Thursday, the Egyptian president will be the chief guest at India's Republic Day parade, and this is an honor India bestows on countries with which it sees a lot of cooperation and of course a cooperation that helps both the countries and of course the wider world as well. With video journalist Sanjeet Siddhant Sibil for WION in New Delhi.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.